Hello, my name is Anastasia, if you didn't already know, and I have an online store where I sell my work, thanks to sharing on Instagram. So I'm super passionate about making my Instagram look cute, and I really do think that a professional look in social media can really help you gain confidence and also create a kind of nice space for the people that want to follow you. Obviously, what I'm showing you here is just the way I do things. This is not so you can copy everything exactly how I do it. I want you to interpret it in your own way. And this is just to give you a starting point that you can then work from. I know this stuff seems pretty basic, but I do think little changes can make a big difference. Anyway, we're going to start at the top with the profile picture. So I use this simple eye logo, and that's because it represents my brand. It shows what is happening on my page, and it kind of sets the tone for the rest of my feed and my work. Just think of it as what is bold enough and noticeable enough so when you interact with other people, they'll be interested to click on your Instagram. Think of something that really stands out and represents you well. Only use images that are yours or that you have permission to use. To summarise that, keep it bold and noticeable, don't use any tiny words. Let your profile picture set the kind of vibe for your feed. Next, we are going to move on to the bio area. If you have a creators account or business account, you can change the category for your profile. I've picked artist here just to show you. And business profiles also have the option to have a contact button, so email is my preferred contact. I just recommend utilising these features if you do have them. As you can see here, you can get rid of the category label or you can get rid of the contact info, so just change these to what works with you. I'm going to get rid of the category label just to keep things as simple as possible, but of course I still want the email button. Okay, let's work on the bio now. So with your bio, I would just recommend not repeating what you've already said. So for example, if your profile says artist already, you don't need to put that in the bio. If I've already written Anastasia, I don't need to write that again in the bio. Keep it to the point, keep it snappy, and just don't use any unnecessary words or information. Only the stuff that you need to say. So I've just done a quick little bio here with a few emojis that I like to use. On the subject of emojis, I just want to say, I know this sounds ridiculous, but once I went for a meeting at one of the most famous fashion magazine in the world, and I heard them discussing their use of emojis. Let me tell you, big brands discuss this kind of things. They have a set of emojis that they are strict about using across all platforms so that they create this idea of a brand through their social media. I just thought that was like nothing I'd ever heard of, but it makes sense. We have all these little pictures that we can use throughout our text, throughout our bio and profile and stories. So pick a few emojis that you like to use and that kind of sum up your brand. Let those be your go-to emojis, and they will help you create this idea of a brand and a kind of consistent image and look online. These are my favourites to use. Let's now check out the link section. So on Instagram you only have the option to have one link. So I use Linktree, which means you can have all your links on there, as you can see. I really recommend using a service like this. Maybe not Linktree in particular because there has been a few issues with the link staying up. But my point is, it's really good to have this kind of link option for the people that are following you, all in one place. To summarise that little section about your bio, are you utilising the business creator features? Don't repeat your info. How are you using your link? Get straight to the point. And what are your emojis? Now we are going to focus on the story highlights. So first of all, what I did was delete a highlight that I didn't use anymore. I really recommend doing this. Just keep them concise. Don't have endless story highlights. Just do what you need to have on there. and I'm going to rename this one. As you can see, lock screens was too long. But my point here is make sure you pick titles that can be fully read. So here's a little tip, something I do for the covers of my story highlights. I go on the Instagram story, take a picture of anything, and then colour it in a colour that I like. As always, this is just an example, but having coloured highlights is my kind of thing, and I really like how they look. You could use textures or logos for each one, or photos, whatever you like. The point here is just to make something that looks great and kind of goes with the rest of your profile. I also got rid of the links highlight because that was kind of pointless considering I had the link in my bio. So I hope you see what I mean by only keeping things that are necessary. Anyway, I wasn't so keen on the all pink, so quickly just showing you how I decided to change them to different colours that work with the rest of my feed, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. To summarise, don't overdo your story highlights, just keep the essentials and make them cute. Now we're going to move on to the feed. So with my feed, I like to include pops of colour, lots of white, simple drawings and occasional personal posts by the plants or myself. It's all about figuring out what you want to share and what kind of aesthetic you're going for. To help with this, I recommend you screenshot your Instagram, then take that screenshot to the story and just pick out colours using the colour dropper. Do what I'm doing here, and you can kind of track what your Instagram is looking at, maybe what kind of colours it's missing. I find this to be a really cool and useful way to figure out what I want to do next in my feed. As for captions of your posts, I would say just keep everything consistent. So keep the captions the same kind of vibe. If you're not going to capitalise any of the letters, then keep them all like that. Use those emojis we spoke about earlier. Keep it consistent. So to summarise the feed section, I just wanted to bring up a few more points. As we spoke about, get to know your colours and the kind of flow that your feed has. Vary your posts. Decide when that you post. For example, I post in the evening around the same time as much as I can. If it was a perfect world, I'd be able to post every day, but sometimes I don't feel that inspired. Decide on your vibe or theme. Decide how you interact and type, how you use emojis. Be consistent, and also decide how personal you want to be online. Finally, I just want to talk about interacting with other people on Instagram. So I choose to only follow 90 people just because it keeps my feed less cluttered and it helps me to not stay on Instagram for too long. But obviously this is personal choice. Every so often I make sure to catch up on posts that my following accounts have posted and I've missed. As well, I try my best to reply to comments. I've not done so well recently, but this is also a really sweet thing that you can do, and it's so nice to interact with people on your posts. Even if it's just one person, it just feels good to have that little interaction. To summarise, make sure you try and reply to comments, check out who you follow, and try to support the people that you follow too. So that is all for now. I hope this was useful. This is loads of little bits of information that I've picked up and saved, and I'm so glad I can share it with you. If this has helped, please let me know, and if you have questions, please let me know. Just thank you so much for watching. Here I am checking my account from another account, which I also recommend doing, just as a last little tip there. I'll see you all soon, and if you don't already, come and say hi on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!